Hi guys, this is Michelle. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about action, okay? So about getting motivated to actually getting things accomplished. So no matter how you feel, no matter what your potential gifts are or your talents, only action brings them to life. And those of you who only think you think you understand the concepts and the commitment and the courage of like love and commitment and everything, one day discover that you only know when you act, because doing becomes understanding. You see, vision isn't enough unless it's combined with venture. It's not enough to stare up the stairs unless you step up those stairs. So we're going to talk about action, okay? We're going to talk about getting in there and doing it. No matter what it is that you want to accomplish, what is it going to take to get you started? Well, you see, action is not easy in this world because there's so much self-doubt and it's everywhere. You've got people that tell you, they want to discourage you and they want to say that you can't do it or you're not up for it or you're not this or that or whatever. And, so you've got all those forces of doubt everywhere, even inside of your own mind. But still, no matter what's going on in the world, wherever those forces of doubts are there, you have to act anyway. Words are cheap and concepts and philosophies are elegant. Ideas are abundant. Good intentions are really impressive. But turning all those words into actions requires energy. It requires sacrifice. Oh no, I said a bad word. Sacrifice. Should I whisper it? Yeah. You have to overcome the insecurities and hurdle past all the self-doubt and the lethargy and the apathy and the excuses and 100 good reasons why not to rock the boat and stay on course. But you keep on getting the same message, and life keeps on telling you the same thing. It's better to do what we need to do than to not do it at all and have a good reason. The stakes, everything. You see, there's thousands of motivational speakers thundering out passionate and eloquent ideas, inspiring you to get off the couch, start a new life, stop watching Netflix. And all of it requires effort and will, discipline. Still, most of you guys only act when there's some kind of emotional or mental or physical pain that gets so bad that you have to. So let's make a deal right now. Let's change it. Let's acknowledge that action and change requires some discomfort. Oh my God. Did I say another bad word again? Oh, I don't want to feel discomfort. I don't like it. Yeah, it's going to require some discomfort. It's going to require some effort and some energy. Let's even say that we're really ready. Let's say you're ready. Your mind's like, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. I've got it. I'm pumping myself up. I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready to take the action in my life. So what do I do now? Okay, well, it boils down to 3 little words. 3 of the most powerful words in the dictionary. Just do it. Just do it. Those are the 3 words. Just do it. Most of you are waiting for permission for something inside of you. You wait to feel motivated. You wait until fear is looking the other way. You're waiting for him to turn his nasty little head. You're waiting for your insecurity and your self-doubt just to disappear. You're waiting for something and somewhere to give you permission to act. But action is stronger than subjectivity. There are times in this world when you have to act with strength and courage. No matter what you're feeling or what you're thinking, no matter what your past is, no matter how horrible your parents were, no matter if you were raised by your second cousin or your aunt or your grandmother because your mother and your father left you, it doesn't matter what your past is. If you want something, put that behind you. It doesn't exist anymore. The only thing that exists right now is what you want and what's going on right in front of you. You see, it's the warriors in this world. Now I said warriors. Okay? Warriors in this world that do not wait for permission to act. They just figure out what they want. And they choose the path of courage and integrity. If it's in their heart, despite whatever fear they have or whatever self-doubt they have or whatever insecurity they have, they just rise above it. And they act. And they let that subject or that fear catch up. Those words that are saying, hey, you can't do this, you're not up to it, the little whispers and echoes and voices in your mind that says you're going to fool yourself, you're going to fail. All those voices will pass through your mind. But act anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And soon those voices will disappear. What seemed to be so compelling will stop coming around. Eventually. I remember when I was younger, I was super shy. So I had a real crazy childhood because I was kind of the ugly duckling growing up. And excuse me, I'm thirsty. And so I was made fun of a lot, and it put kind of a hamper on me because I was very insecure. I always thought somebody wasn't going to like me, and I believe that looks was the key to everything. And when I got into high school, I got into cosmetology. I learned about makeup. I learned about hair, and even though I was able to fix all those things, I still felt that inside because it wasn't about this. It was about this, And I remember going to a class, and it was a sales class. And there was this girl that was probably about 5'2", and she had sort of a pixie-looking boy haircut. That was, she was real small. She didn't really have a girlish figure. She kind of had like a little boy-looking figure. But she was pretty. I mean, she was pretty, but she had a very simplistic, very plain look to her. And all these people were hovered around her. Every time they give us a break, all these guys would just go run over to her, and they're like, hey, what are we going to do tonight? Hey, come over here, blah, blah, blah. They were talking to her, and here I was standing over in the corner by myself, and nobody was talking to me. So I sat there and stared at her and stared and stared and studied her. I studied her for the next 2 weeks, trying to figure out what was so different. And I realized something really profound. That there wasn't really anything different. It was just a matter of choice. And what's stopping me from acting just like that? She was a very friendly girl. She was approachable. And something inside of me said, nothing's stopping you but the wind. So I decided at that moment that I was going to change. Now, I'm not saying that overnight I became, a super personality. It wasn't the easiest thing. I mean, I still went through some challenges trying to overcome the insecurities that I had. It took some time to learn that the choices that I make in my life, the person that I am, is okay. And I used to think that if I told everybody all my deepest, darkest, dirty little secrets or all the bad things about me and just put it up front, and if they accepted me, then we were good to go. But that was like they're like that's permission to walk away. And so, and I was making it about me, I was making it about me. And one day I decided, stop making it about me, make it about them. And so I stopped trying to worry so much about, do you like my belief system? Do you like my philosophy? Do you like my interest? Are you into art? Are you into this? Do I have anything to talk to you about? I would just ask them what they did for a living. I would talk to them about their kids. I would find some commonality. And before I knew it, everybody was like, wow, Michelle, she's so friendly. She's so nice, And then, of course, I expanded my knowledge of many, many things. And I became the most interesting person in the world. I'm just joking. So, anyways, the point behind that is that I committed to just doing it. And I remember when I first started doing this, I had a young girl that was a gymnast, and she asked me, I didn't have a whole lot of clients at the time, so I, sometimes did house calls and stuff like that. And anyway, she was a gymnast, and she was doing these uneven bars, and she had been doing it with a spotting belt before, and she, wanted to be able to do this, and she wanted me to kind of coach her through it and do it without spotting belt. So that time had come to where she needed to do it alone. So she got up on the bar, and she was about to do it, and she's like, all right, here I go. And then she just kind of stepped back and said, I can't do it. And I said, okay, why? And she said, I'm feeling fear. And I said, okay, where are you feeling that? And she said, in my stomach and my muscles, I feel weak. And I said, okay, so you're really afraid? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, now that we've cleared that up, let's just do it. And she said, but I'm afraid. And I said, whatever gave you the idea? That fear was a reason not to do something. She just kind of, what? And I was like, yeah, the only time you have a chance to show courage is when you're afraid. And it's fine to feel that fear sometimes. It can be a healthy sign that you're not ready for something. But in this case, you are. You've done all the prep work, all the work. You know how to do this. Fear is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Don't let fear be your master. Feel it as much as you want. Experience it completely. Feel the feeling. But then do your dismount. She hesitated for a moment, and with determination and a little bit of terror, she just went ahead and she did it, and she did a beautiful dismount. You see, every day you have the opportunity to face your fears and act anyway. This isn't about leaping off of rooftops, or this isn't about gymnastic stunts. This is about conquering habits. This is about experiencing life, taking risks, creating that business you always wanted to do, losing the weight you wanted to lose, quitting, a very horrible relationship that's only torn you down. This is about taking a new direction and that you've always dreamed of. So, I'm going to tell you another story. This is actually one of my favorite ones. I have this friend that was a personal trainer, and he wanted to go back to his original country because he's not from here, and he wanted to open up, his dream was to open up a gym or several gyms in the country he was from. And so he saved his money and he flew there, and he was there 6 months or so. He was looking for investors or whatever, but apparently when I would text him and ask him what he was doing, most of the time he was laying around watching Netflix. And eventually I was like, maybe you need to come back home. And he came back home. We chatted a few times. And then one day he called me. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, nothing really. I'm just depressed. And I said, why? And he goes, because I had this dream and I failed. And I said, okay, why did you fail? And he said, well, I couldn't find the investors that I wanted. And I said, okay, well, maybe it was the wrong place. You know, you don't want to give up on your dreams. You've just got to maybe just find a different solution for it. And he goes, Michelle, you're not hearing me. I can't. And I go, oh, yes, you can. You're just choosing not to. So why are you choosing not to? And he goes, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. And I said, okay, cool. So now we know what failure feels like. Failure feels like not doing shit. So let's take some action. Let's do it. He goes, did you just not hear me? And I said, failure. Only people that fail are people that don't do it. If I was to go and shoot a basketball hoop right now, I would miss. Does that make me a failure? That makes me a person that doesn't know how to shoot baskets. Okay? But if I sat there every day consistently and I kept on throwing at that hoop, eventually I would be really good at it. So does that mean I'm a winner? No, that means I'm a person that took action. Action to make something happen. Now, the fact that you're sitting your ass on the sofa watching Netflix all the time makes you a failure. So, now that you know what failure feels like and you know what failure is, let's do something different. So, you need to be spending 8 hours a day doing something to promote and build this particular thing. I said, what can you do? He goes, well, I don't have an investor. And I said, you don't need an investor. You can build a business without an investor. You're just making excuses. You can build a personal training business. What are you doing to do that? You need to be, are you marketing on Facebook? Are you putting out flyers? Have you created a website? What are you doing to promote that business? And he said, nothing. And I said, okay, to promote a business, you need to be working at least 8 hours a day. Most people that are entrepreneurs work more than 8 hours a day, believe me. I know this. And so you need to be getting up and having your little coffee, doing your workout, and then boom, you get on it, okay? And don't stop until you've spent a minimum of 8 to 10 hours a day working on building that business, doing whatever it takes. And I said, and then when you've done that for an extended period of time, then you can reevaluate and see if you need to take a different plan of action and try it a little bit differently. And when I say that, I mean, like, maybe at that point you might be able to find investors. Maybe at that point you might be able to go in with somebody. But at least you're moving forward, okay? And you become successful. There is no way that you put that much energy into something and it's not going to create some level of success. He said to me, Michelle, this is why I love you. And the next thing I knew, he was all over the place. And 3 months later, he had actually even transformed his body, and he entered into some sort of like bodybuilding contest, and it was an amateur thing, but he won 3rd place. And then 3 months later after that, he did it again, and he got 2nd place. And then 3 months later after that, he got 1st place. And then next thing I knew, he opened up a gym. Now, what I'm saying to you guys is that if you just sit here saying the words, I can't, then nothing will ever happen. You have to have courage. You have to stand up through all those forces of doubt, and you got to let all those words and all those feelings and all that pain just disappear, okay? You've got to just walk away from it. It's going to sit there and nibble at your head. You're going to still hear the recording, guys. But when you start to ignore it and you just move past and you put your energy and thought into what can I do right now? What can I do right now? What can I do right now? And you start doing that, let me tell you something. You will start to be on the way to creating the success of your life. This is Michelle Thompson, and have a wonderful day.